Let's talk about this look. This was my first client project, and it was about the launch of this fashion consulting thingy. The client wants to do an interview style video with a white background where he talks about the brand, his childhood, his family, and how he got to where he is today. So I said, let's make it cinematic, because that's what's been trending nowadays. This is how I did it. The first thing I asked him was,
Hello?
what are you wearing? That was my only question, because one of the many ways to make things cinematic is depth, which includes color depth. And one way to do that is color contrast, which is used to drive your viewer's attention and make your image more visually pleasing. So instead of a white background, we used burgundy, because he was going to be wearing gray or beige. I don't know what that color is, but they look good together, so it's a win. Number 2, texture. One other thing to take into account when making an interview cinematic is set design. But since we were going to be in a studio, we weren't going to have much to work with. So instead of a chair, we used a sofa that was in the waiting area and that we pushed in front of the backdrop. And it already gave a better feel. And instead of a flat background, I thought about adding more texture by hanging pictures from his childhood with linen strings. Linen, not fish strings, because I didn't want them to be floating around. I really wanted them to be hung behind him, and I loved that colored and textured feel that these linen strings gave off. So, texture, check. One last thing about the background. You know how you can use color to drive the viewer's attention? Like I said earlier, you can do that with lighting too. So we used this Godox something that was hanging in the background, and we put the gobo mount on it and positioned it in a way that is leading to the subject. Also, it brings out the burgundy, and it gives the feeling that it isn't just one color background. It turned out pretty good, actually. It was cute. Okay, now let's talk about lighting, which is going to be really quick, because on top of the gobo mount that was behind him, I only used one key light and a backlight for more separation. That's it. The key light was a Nanlite FS300, and it was positioned at about a 45-degree angle. And it was only set to about 11%, so you really don't need a powerful light to do that. I mean, my newer MS60 would have done the job perfectly. And since I already had this beautiful split in color with the gobo mount, I didn't want to change that. So I used the honeycomb on the light dome to only light the subject and limit the light spilling to the background. And the backlight was the Aputure 120D with the Light Dome Mini Mark III. I think it was set at about 15%. I can't remember, but play around with it until you find the look you're looking for. One more thing. I knew that both lights had a temperature of 5600 Kelvin, so I set my camera's white balance to that, but I played around with it in post. I think I turned it up to 6500 Kelvin because I didn't like the cool look it gave. So I wanted it to be kind of warmer. I didn't want it to be that cool. And I bumped it up to 6500 Kelvin. And that's it. I don't think it was that complicated, but yeah, you know. I guess that's it. If you have any questions, just comment them, I guess. And tell me what you think. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye.